So we've just completed the Edinburgh Shoreline project. This was a NERC-funded public engagement pilot project where we were working along the Edinburgh shoreline as a collaborative project of a number of artists, those working in construction, and people working in education and scientists coming together to look at the interaction between people, environment and climate, specifically along the Edinburgh coast. And it's really exciting space to be working with lots of different ideas flying around in order to try and make the best improvements in terms of biodiversity along the man-made components of the Edinburgh coast. In the Edinburgh Shoreline project, we were able to bring research out away from the universities and the institutions into the communities and to work with people and discuss what the research might mean for them and how we might change our research to accommodate the needs of communities. So we all know it's really important that research and development is responsive to public concern and that there can be a dialogue with the public about this. So in order to try and move towards research being more responsive and more of a dialogue, it's really important that we evaluate any of our public engagement activities so we can tell whether they've really been effective both for the funders, for the communities and for the researchers themselves. When we're thinking about the impact of our research, what's really important is that somehow our research is making a difference. So it's trying to be able to read some tangible change after the research process. So whether this is with communities, whether it's an economic change, improving efficiencies, or whether it's working towards a policy change. So lots of different ways to read an impact. But in order to know about impact, you've got to in some way be evaluating. And I think the best way to think about the evaluation process is as a before, during and after, a three-stage process. And the before bit is really important because it's really understanding the status quo and understanding what a particular situation or a particular community was like before they came in contact with your research. In terms of the before, during and after evaluation process, the before bit is often the component that people forget, and it's really important to have some idea of the community that you're working with, some kind of dialogue with them about what they're looking for in terms of engaging with this research, what their level of knowledge is like and how you can work together to have a good outcome out of this. So this might be surveys, focus groups, questionnaires, or just sourcing some kind of socioeconomic information about the group that you're working with. When it gets to evaluation during the process, this should really be built into the public engagement design, and so it's not an afterthought, it's not tagged on, but it's really integral to designing the public engagement. And it can be part of the activity, it can be totally interactive, quizzes, sticker activities, graffiti walls, making it a good activity that people can really engage with and it's not an onerous task. When we're thinking about the kinds of evaluation activities that we're carrying out, what's really important is to think about trying to get data that's actually going to be useful and data that you can actually analyse in order to look at changes in behaviour or patterns or in the economics of a situation. So in order to do this we need quantitative data, but ideally you want qualitative data as well. So normally this is a bit more involved in the evaluation process, requiring focus groups or interviews or sitting down with individuals and actually speaking over their experience. But if the funding and the timing of your project allows, this can be highly beneficial in terms of getting an outcome that's really useful in evaluating your project.